very much. And Yualu, thank you for the 12-month resub. Thank you very much and welcome. And let's get back into the game. So, here we go. We've already seen Crazy and Daddy Ducky going for those mastermind roles, although Daddy Ducky basically played Forsaken. he just did that final for 13, which I'm not even sure if he needed that. But will we see that again? And what will the other team play? We will see that now. Let's zoom out as far as we can. Actually, we can zoom a little bit further out if you guys really want to. We can change that here. And let's zoom out even more. Now you see everything. I made the minimap a little bit bigger. That is simply, yeah. You can see stuff better. If I was to make the UI bigger, which was my initial plan, the minimap just disappears because apparently the minimap is part of the UI and it just gets moved away. So I don't know. So East team, we see 2 mastermind roles. The Roby with the Honeyflower Star and Archaicum, my German friend with Fire Elemental. On the other side we see a Fire Elemental again. I guess he's pretty comfortable with that start. And, well, we also have a Fire Elemental on blue this time. So, they are sharing the same weaknesses, I guess. But if we look at their roles, we can definitely see that Crazy has good options. For example, against Wave 9, he has a Honeyflower, which he might even get a Death Cap. And then again, he has for level 10 a Ranger, which is still gonna basically help him a lot if he defends against 9, and then they don't send 9 and send 10 instead. On Daddy Ducky, we see that he has Windhawk and Graal, so he has basically almost ultimate options. 2 more like damage dealer-wise units, but really good level 9 counters. So he probably doesn't have to worry about that too much. We also see in total 3 people with Waldschirms. So I doubt we're gonna see any 14 cents today, but who knows? Who actually knows? So East side team has, well, Honeyflower start. A really aggressive Honeyflower start, I gotta say though. Where he only added a Proton on this wave. And yeah, overall, I mean, that's almost a growth roll. At least the big units are almost all growth. Banana Bank is probably going to help him later on. So far, we have seen no sense. No one wants to send 3 or 4. And he's now going at him. And finishes up. Yellow's role is mostly, well, it's mostly about the small units. He can probably build some good APS combos. And he has a good front line, I would say, with the Mudman. His Disciple is going to be a nice damage dealer, nice spell damage, but he has no unit that benefits from this Disciple. So, there we have it. No sense still. I wonder if we're going to see some maybe level, like straight level 5 or level 6 sense, because most people are already expecting level 4 sense and they are usually able to prepare for it, but we actually see a couple of scents. We see a Dino being sent by Roby, we see a Fiend Snail, and we see a Dragon Turtle. This mostly looks like income scents, to be honest. We don't see a single Brute. We see only 1 Dino. Another Snail being sent. But this is really going to force any leaks. We see double 4 workers on the west side, double 5 workers on the east side. They played a little bit more aggressive. Maybe Hermit would have been more effective against him. He now sends Dragon Turtle Snail, which doesn't really punish the Honeyflower too much. He probably even expected a Hermit, but he has like no trouble holding this. Like the Atom just died and the Honeyflowers are both like a really good HP. This Fire Elemental though is having a little bit of trouble, but still holding, because Fiend is also not the best counter, and also here we see a lot of value, so in the end, still everyone played kind of safe. Maybe even the west side team played too safe with 4 workers each, while the east team was on 5 workers and they also still held. But who could have known that this start of the game is like so quick, because everyone really cleared quick. We We have 3 fire elementals in the honey flower, so they clear 1 quick, they clear 2 and 3 quick. And even against Sense on 4, they cleared really fast. We see a little bit of risk taking here on Daddy Ducky. He's the only one on 7 workers, which results in only having 400 value. That is probably the same value he had for level 4. He feels safe about this. He has a good focus on mini-boss, obviously. And he only added the Windhawk, while we see his teammate Crazy went for Rogue Wave, which he probably also had already for 4. I mean, he cleared 4 really quick, so I'm guessing he had this already for 4. So we don't see too much stuff here happening. See 190 gold now on Crazy. Is he gonna get 2 Wildshrooms? He's probably getting... I think he's gonna get an Atom maybe. Oh, he's actually getting a Butcher. Okay, I didn't expect that. Okay, he got me there. Well, on blue we see now the Rogue Wave. He still has to be careful though, even though he has a Windhawk. He is the only one on 7 workers and his value is not good, but no sense against West Side team. The East Side team though gets sense. 80 and 60. With a 1-wave skip, I don't think that this is really causing any trouble, to be honest. 80 and 60 for a 1-wave skip is not really dangerous. And they're probably even really happy about this. Look at this, like, Fire Metal is really strong 7. And the Honeyflower with Wildshim is also very strong 7. So they can just freely push here, which is really helping them. On the other side, what I'm really surprised about is we see Daddy Ducky, who even pushed another worker, even though he didn't receive a send on this time. The last time he received a send was on 4. So he now is on 655 value, but I'm expecting him to actually boost some PVs because he is so low on value, and it is a good chance that he gets a send here. He will get a send, but of course he doesn't know that. How much is it actually? It is a Dino and 2 snails, so 100... Oh no, that was against him. So Dino and snail, so 100. He's probably still fine. I think he's not having too much trouble clearing this. Because the Aquas are really strong. He didn't even boost the PVs. Like, the Veteran is just tanking, and honestly, so far these sends are really disappointing me. These sends are weak. But that's mostly because everyone plays it kinda safe and everyone is just building up pretty good for those waves. So no one is just taking this little bit of extra risk. I mean, Daddy Ducky did, which is pretty good for him, and he still held. But if I see a skip from 4 to 7, I usually expect more than 100. But there was a 100 send only. And I guess he was pretty happy about that, but he also had a good setup for 7. But overall, I think it's going to be more interesting if the people here go on wave 9 or wave 10. This is going to be the interesting part, or maybe we will even see some skips to 11. So right now, let me check the income. We have 44 and 80 income on the west side, 56 and 62 on the east side. With 80 income, I would say you could go for 11 skip. With 44, I would not say so. But he's actually sending now. So we see the west side team sending now. I see at least a safety mole. It doesn't seem like he's going to be able to send much more. And his teammate is probably just saving for the supply. We also don't see sends on the other side. Maybe yellow is actually saving for pack leader. That's something that could be possible. But what we will definitely see now is low values. So we got Roby on 990 value, which is probably already the highest here. Unless Crazy builds up a lot. Seems like Red is the only one sending here. He is adding the Lizard. And he's going to send into the weakest lane, the 945 lane, but with 2 buffed Mudmans, 2 hardened. And it's going to be really difficult to get through there. He also has some magic damage there on the Redevil and somewhat DPS unit on the Consort. So he is probably clearing this easily. And the safety mole isn't hurting him too much because he didn't have too many small units. The Aggro and Mudman was perfect. They almost died at the same time. So no trouble here. And now we will see a return send, but how much can I actually send? See 80 here, 120, and that's 160 so far. And that's the hold with the fire elementals. So still, let me just make sure, no leaks so far. Not a single leak this game. And of course I can hit tab a little bit more. So we can simply just get an overview on all the builds. We see, in general, really low values. That's what I can say for sure. So, left team, they will have trouble now, but still, PVs. PVs means we can always get some extra value if you boost them. But these values are really low. And I honestly would have probably even sent a safety mole against this. But instead he will receive a lot of lizards. We also see some, at least a send here again against Teal. Well, let's observe this side. So we have Windhawks, we have two boosted veterans. That is really safe. On this side though, we saw not a Death Cap, not a Vulture, but we saw a Canopy actually being built. Which of course died pretty early. Not looking too good. And actually even with the boosted veterans, because there was no frontline actually for Daddy Ducky, he will leak this. And we have a leak on 25% and 13%, with 7 lizards in the bag as well. And on the other side we only have a leak with 400 HP, while Teal was even holding. Because the bazookas he added were helping a lot. Oh, and he has deep quarters as well. So this will be a pretty good advantage. We'll see how much it is now after level 10, but this is a lot of king damage. 36%. A lot of people got the choice between Sorcerer, Market, and Reroll. We see 2 rerolls being used already. Let's see what the people are gonna get. We see 2 sorcerers being used. So there's a sorcerer here on a honey flower. Sorcerer again gives 1 unit 500 health, and it gives nearby allies 12% more spell damage and 12% mana regeneration. So he's mostly going for the spell damage. So far not helping it too much, because this honey flower isn't, well, it's buffing another honey flower. That's about it right now. Who used sorcerer here? Yeah, it was used here on a Death Cap as well, but this Death Cap will probably buff future Zeus, which is pretty good in my opinion. You get a lot more spell damage and you get this spell way more often. Very interesting choice. We also see Crazy, the guy who didn't leak at all last game, on only 9 workers. So he's struggling hard. This game was tough though. This game had a couple of income sends early, but there were no leaks. And that simply means no additional time. We have a really quick game here. Quick is not even like, you probably have to invent a new term for this, because so far we have seen leaks on 10 and that's about it. That is all we've seen so far, and every other wave was cleared rather fast by both teams. So you will see how the West Side team will try to come back from this. Last game they were in the leading position, this time they're behind. So it's not easy for them. They will have to rethink their strategy now. Don't see any of PVs though. Also he actually got rid of his PVs now, I see. And he added Buzz and Millennium to his role. While on the other side, Archaicum, whose most expensive unit was a Disciple, decided to get a Banana Bank and an Antler now. And so far, is he using them? He has not used them yet, so I can't really know if he picked Reroll or Market. While on the other side, did Red use his units already? No. Who was the reroll? No, wait, he used the reroll. forget about that. Archaicum used reroll, and he used this unit already. I see White Man and an Antler. No Banana Bunk so far, but that's mostly for 17 anyway. I'm not even sure if he really needed that, because he has the Madman, so Madman is kind of strong on most of the waves where Banana Bunk is also strong. So surprised me a little bit. Well, on Daddy Ducky, well, he has used the Millennium now. And a couple of Buzz. So, Sense on every lane now. 300, 320, 260, 280. So the West Side team that is behind in value and in workers gets the bigger Sense as well. They're having trouble now holding. I'm gonna zoom in, see what is going on. So, Red is definitely not holding this. His value is below 2k. And the 4 Eyes was getting rid of his Death Cap frontline, and the Canopies didn't survive long either. And he will end up leaking 2 golems into 4 Eyes, and his teammate will also end up leaking 2 golems. On the other side, we see also 2 golems leaked here, but 1 golem is really low on HP. And we see another, well, not a golem leak, this is actually going to be hold. So the left team will definitely take some damage, maybe even critical damage and die here. While the east side team is going to hold this, delayed even longer, but it doesn't matter, they won't die here. And yeah, this seems to be the win. There it is. 1 or 2 more hits left on the golem. And east side team won at wave 13. That was pretty quick. I gotta say, this was quick. I did not expect that. And we've seen him so strong last game, Crazy and Danny Ducky. And this game, it's really hard to say where the mistakes were. This was a really starved game, I would say. Usually if you have a game, you have someone leaking one of the first like 6 or 7 waves, right? But this game, no one leaked before wave 10. And that causes everyone to be, in general, on lower value. No, we cannot switch around now, but we can check the incomes now. The incomes now on wave 13 are really low. We've had 154, 190, 206, 188. In some games, where you have a little bit more time and you have a couple of leaks early, you have those incomes at wave 10 or 11. Here we had them at wave 13. So it was a big difference to an usual game, a very starved game. And, well, this simply means that the team with the name team advances to the losers round 6, where they will meet the loser of the winner bracket semifinal. And that's either gonna be Cool Cats or Husaria. And then the winner of that game is gonna play in the grand final against the winner of the current game that is still being played. I'm guessing they're not finished yet because they started around the same time that we started our match. So we're gonna go again into a very small break. Gonna give you guys 1 or 2 songs, and I'll talk to Jules and see what is up next. So stay tuned, guys.